so I'm sure you're wondering why I have my luggage with me. I just got back from a destination wedding in Miami for my bride. She's actually from California. She was doing a destination wedding, flew me down, and I decided to do a masterclass while I was there, because why not? A lot of you guys have asked me all about what I pack and how I pack for destination weddings ever since I posted how to price yourself for destination weddings on here. If you missed that, make sure you go back and watch that video after. But today, I'm gonna tell you all about what I take with me, especially doing a bride and a masterclass. I need to make sure that I had absolutely everything with me that I needed, but it was condensed enough that I could take it with me on the plane. I do not check my makeup or my brushes or anything that I need in order to do my job while I am at that client. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Lauren D'Amelio of Entry, and I've educated thousands of makeup artists from around the world, helping them create breakthrough results in their business and help them become the best artists they could possibly be. So if you have any questions at all, please go down, write anything that you want to learn. I will make you a video. We make videos like this every single week just for you. So please write anything that you want to learn below, and I promise you, I will help you with any questions that you might have. In this video, I'm going to teach you about everything that I have with me right now. I'm going to teach you about the lighting that I have, my brushes, my makeup, my tripod, everything that I bring with me in this little setup. And it is going to make your life so easy. I'm also going to give you a free downloadable link below so that you guys can get my top picks for destination weddings. So everything that I have here, again, this fits right into my carry-on luggage. I'm also able to have a few other things, and since I did do a class, I have extra face charts in there. Also, I'm able to fit my amazing handy dandy tripod that condenses like so small. I'm able to grab my light. I normally bring 2 of them. I know that they don't sell this model any longer, but they do have other ones, and we will link those for you. I also like to have a suction cup stand. So right now I do have the phone attachment on it, but this does twist off and I am able to put my aperture light on. For destination weddings, I do like to bring a good amount of batteries with me for when I'm running around after them, anywhere that I can't plug in. But I also do like to use a plug-in while I'm actually working so that I'm not going through those batteries that I'm gonna need later on. A lot of destination weddings, the brides will hire you for the whole day since they're already flying you out. Typically they do hire you for the whole day, so you do want light that you are able to run around with. When I tell you the way that I work on destination weddings, on any wedding, but especially when I'm booked for the full day, I am so close to my client at all times. I am making sure that they are perfect. I'm helping them with their shoes if they need it. I'm helping them change into their second dress if they need it. Anything that they need, I'm there for. So having things that are really easy to run around with are super, super important. So this right here is my lighting setup. Super easy. Again, if I need a second source of light, I will set this up on a window or mirror. Again, this is on Amazon. I will link it for you as well. If I want to have both with lights, I can unscrew this and put it on the top of my light. It's all really compact, really, really super easy. I'll lay it all out right here so that you guys can kind of see. I'm sorry, everything's a little messy still. I have not went through this since we got back. Normally I'll even like try to sanitize my brushes on the plane, but this trip we flew in Thursday. We had the rehearsal dinner that we did makeup for on Friday. Saturday, we worked from 7 a.m. till about 8 p.m. So things might be a little crazy, and then went right into my masterclass on Monday. It was crazy, it was a lot of work, but it was also a lot of fun and super fulfilling. But it's so important to be super organized whenever you're doing a destination wedding. I will talk more on destination weddings if you guys have any other questions, but for this video, we're gonna go through the kit. I also, again, have my other light in my carry-all bag. I love a big leather bag when I'm traveling. I could fit my personal purse in here, so my 2 carry-ons that I'm allowed. I always make sure that I'm allowed 2 carry-ons, and I make sure that I'm priority, so I'm always boarding in at least group 2, the latest. This way I have definite space for my carry-on luggage and it will not have to be checked. That is my biggest anxiety when I fly. And everything, I do not get flagged when I go through. Everything is small enough in my kit that I don't normally have any problems. I like to carry a little fan. I have my little spray. This is probably the biggest product that I carried with me, was a setting spray. I also had a bag that I keep my brush belt in, just a little black bag just to keep my brush belt in when I am running around after my client. I typically have my brush belt on and I'll shove like her powders, blush, setting powders, anything that I need, lip touch up in one side of my belt and then have brushes on the other side. So I have both hands free at all times. And then when I am running around, I will either have like a little bag with me or this full of anything else that I need, like my light, maybe a water, snack. This bride was super sweet. She did feed us. You don't always get that lucky. Sanitizer, alcohol, just a bunch of this is like my throw all. This is where all my stuff kind of goes that doesn't have a place in this or my kit. I'll throw my dirty brushes back in this bag when I'm done, so it is quite full with dirty brushes at the moment. When I'm at a client, this never goes on the table, the rolling suitcase. I just feel like it's so dirty from traveling and rolling on the ground. I'm just putting it up here to show you guys what I use and the size of it. But the wheels will never touch a table. I will typically unzip it on the floor and then pick up just my kit. So I'm really sorry, I'm really nervous. I probably should have looked through this because it's probably a little crazy right now. After the class, we ended at 2:50. We ran out of there. Our flight was at 5 o'clock. So we just threw everything in bags and ran. Not too bad. So I have my palettes that I carry with me. So these are the palettes that I carry with me. I even have a lip palette, another powder palette. These are the palettes that I bring with me. I did not need all of these, to be honest. I didn't need all of them. Sometimes I just get a little nervous that the bride's gonna switch up her inspo photo. I always, no matter what, make sure I know exactly what the bride wants prior to going. I know her skin tone, I know her skin type. I have a picture of her, if we've never met, I have a picture of any inspo that she might have so that I know the color palettes to bring and what kind of skincare to bring. In this case, I was also doing my master class, so I wanted to have a little extra in here. I could totally bring less than this, but this is like the most that I could travel with, right? I also have a whole thing of powders. My powders, obviously, again, reflect off of the client that I'm doing on the trip. If they are fair, I bring more fair tones. If they're deep, I bring more deep tones. In this case, she was medium tan, so I was able to just carry powders. This one's a little messy. I have my highlights. I have some condensed palettes right there, setting powders, some of my favorite setting powders, Givenchy, Fenty, One Size, highlights. I like to bring a few different highlights with me. I brought a bunch of the Beauty Bible highlights with me. They are beautiful, super creamy. I also love Cookie and Rare Beauty. Those are super nice. I know that those are always gonna work on almost any skin tone. I brought 3 different Patrick Ta blushes. These are a little messy as well. I'm so sorry, guys, forgive me. I believe she's that girl, she's vibrant, and she's a doll. These are my Charlotte Tilbury pressed powders that I bring with me. I do bring a few MAC Studio Fix pressed foundation powders. Also MAC bronzers. These are in dark and give me sun. 2 other bronzers, just a little bit more cool toned, was the Dior and the Hula. I have more blush because I'm such a blush girl. The 2 Dior Backstage. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. This is the Strawberry Blush by Laura Mercier. I have a mini powder because I didn't realize that I already had the big powder in there. I have a few loose shimmers because my bride wanted a shimmer look. More highlight. Again, I packed more than I definitely needed. I just like to have things with me. If you know exactly who you're doing, exactly what they want, they're not gonna switch up their look. You can totally condense further than this. You can even have less foundations with you. I did not condense these foundations because they were brand new and I just didn't have time. So I brought a bunch of the Tom Ford foundation sticks with me. I brought a 4 just because I wanted a pretty good shade range to be able to pick from. I have my contour stick, LYS, and my Hourglass. I also grabbed, which I didn't use on this trip, were the Armanis. I wanted to see her in person. This bride, for instance, I did not do a trial with. Only about 20% of my brides do trials. So a lot of the times we're meeting for the first time on their big day. I always bring a foundation palette with me. This is the makeup forever. I also love the RCMA foundation palette and the Graftobian. So whatever you have, make sure you have a foundation palette, because you never know, maybe the bride got super tan from the photo that she sent, or maybe she's a lot paler than the photo that she sent, or if you have met her, again, skin tones can change a bit. Highlighting and contour palette. I have concealers in here. I love Tarte Shape Tape. I have the regular and the ultra creamy. Again, depending on my client's skin tone, that is what I pack. I also knew that I was most likely going to be doing a nudie pink lip, because that's what every bride wants, and that's what she was also sending me pictures of. So I brought what I needed for a nudie pink lip. I have a bunch of lip liners because these don't take up a lot of room. I was able to pack a good amount of them. I am one of those people that would rather have like too much than not enough or not the right product. So I do have liners, liquid liners, lip liners, brow pencils, more liquid liners, mascaras, brow markers, and then lash glue and brow gel. I do like to have these little clippies with me when I am traveling. I also like to have a lash curler, lash tweezers, and regular tweezers. Skincare is super important. I feel like a lot of people get nervous when it comes to skincare, like, oh, well, what if it's too much liquid? You just want to make sure that it's under, I believe it was 3.5 for airlines. Check with the airline that you're going to be traveling with. Look at their policies. This is 3.38, so it was under the limit of what United, the airline that I typically fly with, so I was fine with this. And if you ever do have trouble at a checkpoint at an airline, you could just ask them to swab it. Another great thing is to have quart Ziploc bags with you, because if you do really have an issue, they're just gonna ask you to put them in Ziploc bags. They'll swab it, they'll make sure it's all good to go through. But skincare is super, super important when you are going to a destination bride. Mine, again, was in Miami, so I know the climate there is typically more hot and humid, but she was a dry girl. So I had to make sure that I had things that were gonna hydrate, products that were going to help with any kind of sweat or oil control, eye cream. I'll walk you through exactly what I have in here. So I do love the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I showed you earlier that I do also bring the One Size Beauty setting spray because it's so good, and especially in humid weather, that makeup is not going to move. I did this bride's makeup starting at around 8 a.m. and by the time we left, I like barely had to touch her face. I think we just did a bump up of the eye, and her main second look really was like a difference in hairstyle. So it was very minor touch-ups, which was great. I barely had to touch her. The lip obviously is something that was most touched. I bring my Milk Blur Stick. I bring my D'Alba. This is the first spray serum. I bring my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. My La Mer, this is the soft cream, not the rich cream. I felt like the rich cream is gonna be a little too heavy for Miami weather. I have my Elemis Rose Spray. I also have my Elemis Superfoods Oil. I love these products. I love Elemis as a company, as a whole. I have my Charlotte Tilbury. This is also really great if your client has like more sweat on their face. This is going to really help with sweating. This is really gonna help with sweating as well as oil controlling. This is the One Size, this is the Carpe. Always a lip scrub. I knew that my client was coming from LA and taking a flight, so I feel like a lot of times on flights, skin can dry out quite a bit, especially I know mine for sure does, so especially the lips. So I always wanna make sure I bring like a little lip scrub. And I do have the D'Alba, the serum, eye cream, Dior eye cream, 2 different Drunk Elephant illuminators, and I do like to bring, I had one left over, thank God, because you guys wouldn't have seen this. These are my Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads. These are great to get rid of any dead skin or buildup or extra spray tan that you just don't want there. Warn your client that it might tingle a bit. I did bring a bunch of different lip products as well as a lip palette, just in case anyone wanted any crazier colors rather than pinky nude. I wanted to make sure that I had that. I also bring Tatcha. This is the Kiss You lip mask. It's small, it's easy to travel with. My tape, because I love to use tape for liner and eye looks. Sponges, cotton rounds. Obviously you need a sharpener. This is the One Size sharpener. So yeah, I think we covered it all. And then obviously my brush belt that I spoke about earlier. But it all fits really nicely in here. It's easy to like see where everything is as you're working. I don't have to worry too much. I do take this out of my kit while I'm working because I do want to open this up and be able to see. I did like them in here instead of them all just loose. I just feel like that gets a little messy. And I'm able to easily just put all of my products back where they need to be. And I keep them separated like this. You can totally take out the dividers if you need a little more space, but I didn't, thank God. And I like to separate like skincare, lip, foundation, concealers, contour products. My sharpener just kind of goes randomly wherever it needs to go. Sometimes I have to lay things down to make it work, but it really is the easiest way. This is just another highlight. The easiest way to travel. Having a more condensed kit will make your life easier as well. Since I have a rolling suitcase, I didn't have to really worry about weight. But if you don't have a rolling suitcase, you might not want to bring as much, or make sure whatever you are bringing is taken out of the actual packaging, because some of the packaging, like this is by Westman Atelier, it's very heavy alone, this little thing. So a lot of that, the packaging could start to add up and start to weigh a ton. So just be vigilant and aware of that. And then I'll just kind of lay them across however it fits. It's always like a little puzzle. Very, very easy to put back away. That's what we want. We want ease, we want convenience, we want it to also look clean. Obviously, this was used and abused this week, so everything's gonna come out of here, everything's gonna get wiped down, everything's gonna be re-sanitized, even though I do alcohol spray everything once I am finished. It just makes my life really easy this way. I didn't feel lost at all. Sometimes when you condense your kit and then you're looking for things, like you just feel so lost throughout the makeup application, and that can really start affecting your artistry. So really making sure that this is a good flow for you. Move it around, see what works best for you. Oh, I didn't mention, I do also like to have a palette or two with me, obviously so that you're not just working off of your hands. And everything fits just really nicely back in here. Very dirty. My little Danessa, ma'am, I need a new one. She didn't send that to me, so can't be asking for a new one. But I bought this and my little metal plate fell off, probably from traveling. But it makes it super, super easy. Oh, last thing in this. This is also a backpack. So you're able to also use the clips on the side to make it even more secure while traveling, nice and tight. I love that. It does actually have, you could charge this bag and you're able to use it for charging your phone, whatever you might need it for. There is a USB port right here, and inside there's a cable that you would charge the actual bag, which is pretty cool, especially if you're flying, you're in airports, you wanna be able to have a power source. I do like to travel with at least 2 portable batteries with me at all times as well, because you always need your phone. You need to be able to take videos, take photos, but also get in touch with the people that you're there with. I don't ever recommend traveling alone. Thing that we have, 2 more things, I'm sorry, that we have in here. I don't even know how many I have left, but I put my spoolies, my lip spoolies, my lash spoolies in this little bag. So anything that I needed, I was able to use. I still have some left over from the trip. You could put it in a Ziploc. Lashes I kept in here. I always travel with shout wipes also, and Band-Aids. Shout wipes and Band-Aids in case my clients need them. More little, like, just more lashes and more loose shadows. And that's it. And just again for size, oh, I have brush cleaner in here as well. Very important to have brush cleaner. I do tape it shut with electrical tape so that the brush cleaner won't eat away at it. So I'm able to take my handy dandy, super compact light stand tripod, and the wiring, I'm able to lay them flat and then just take my bag, lop it in, and I can also fit my lights in here. This typically will go in my carry-all. And we're good to go. So I have a few stories because why not? Me and my one assistant, Sam, we flew to South Carolina. We got there fine. On our way back, my assistant, Sam, she got stopped when we were going through the checkpoint, and they were giving her like a really hard time about her kit. She had probably every concealer that she owns with her. Like, I'm not even exaggerating, there were probably like 40 concealers, which is a super aggressive number of concealers, but she was there to do the bridesmaids and she did not know the shade range that she needed. So she literally just brought everything. So many liquid foundations. That's another reason why I like to travel with mainly cream foundations, but I also love cream foundations, especially in hot, humid environments, even in dry, not humid environments. I love cream foundations for anyone that needs their makeup to stay on all day, all night, through tears, through dancing, through heavy lights, through photo sessions. Anything cream-based is gonna be your best friend. So the Tom Ford stick foundations are my current favorite. If you don't wanna spend that much, you could always go and grab the Makeup Forever stick foundations. They're a good kind of dupe, but still love the Tom Ford more. But so we went through, she's literally almost in tears, poor Tiny, and I go up to them, I'm like, can't you just swab it? And they can, but you need to be really nice to everyone. If you get stopped, just be really nice. Most of the time, they just wanna see what's in the bag because it looks like so much stuff. So you just wanna explain, I'm a makeup artist, I'm here for a destination wedding, or I'm leaving a destination wedding. Feel free to go through it. You can swab whatever you need to swab. And then also let them know that you do have Ziploc bags with you in case they want you to put certain things in Ziploc bags. We were fine, we went through, everything was great, but it is very nerve-wracking, especially when you're on your way to a bride. You don't want your products taken or thrown away and you never see them again. So make sure that you take these steps, make sure that you're super sweet to the airport workers. Don't give people attitude. That will not help. But as long as they are aware that this is what you need for your job, they are normally really, really super nice. And they just want to see. The past few times I haven't been stopped at all going through the machine, and I've been traveling with a very similar setup to exactly what I just showed you. But try to condense depending on your clients that you're going to. I think that's my biggest takeaway. Try not to pack every concealer, every liquid foundation that you have, because you probably will get stopped. There are certain airlines that if there's an accumulation that's over a certain amount of liquid, not just per bottle, that they'll give you a hard time. So even if you're only traveling with something that has under 3.5, this is 3.4, so this was just under. And again, I did not have a hard time at all going through, but just check your products, look at everything, because the last thing that you want on your way to a bride or even coming home is getting your products taken away. And if they are too large to travel with, make sure you're giving yourself enough time when you're packing your kit, because this takes time. You need at least an hour to 2 hours to condense your kit, because normally I do travel with a lot more than this when I go to my local clients. Which I probably don't need to, it's more of a want, but making sure that you know what they want, making sure you are packing according to them, making sure you're giving yourself enough time to pack correctly. And if you do need to order squeeze tubes for liquid foundations so that you're not carrying all these big glass jars with you, or if you need to order any other travel-like products, even if you love this and you don't want to travel with like a whole big thing because it just takes up way too much room, order the travel size. Travel size is great, obviously, for travel purposes. You're just not getting as much bang for your buck. You could also condense your powders into smaller containers for travel as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this training. I hope this helps you with your next destination wedding or client or masterclass even. Again, if you guys have any questions, please comment below. I would love to make you a video. Also, if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to grab your free download with the links of my favorite things to travel with. And I can't wait to see you next week. Bye, guys.